Hey everyone, and welcome to our introduction to digital marketing. My name's Sarah, and I'm the Managing Director of Retro Digital. The aim of this short lesson is to give you an introduction to what digital marketing actually is and how it works. We're not going to be going into too much detail this lesson. We're going to be covering each topic separately, giving it its own special part of the course. If you have any questions about anything mentioned in this course, please get in touch. My contact details are at the end of the presentation. So let's get started. I'll start off with a little introduction, but don't worry, there won't be any more promotion throughout the course. So for those of you who don't know us very well yet, we're Retro Digital. We're a marketing agency based in Dublin and Belfast, and we help companies grow at home and abroad through digital marketing services. We also work at the University of Strasbourg, teaching digital marketing and localization to master's students. Let's start at the very beginning with what is digital marketing. As Alan, the other director, always likes to summarize whenever we're in the pub explaining what we do for a living, digital marketing is any online activity that markets a product or service with the aim of increasing company revenue. There's so much more to digital marketing than just posting on Facebook, which is what we're going to explore through this course. Now, it's very important to mention marketing isn't sales, and this is something that a lot of people often confuse. The term sales refers to all activities that lead to the selling of goods and services, and marketing is a process of getting people interested in the goods and services being sold. So what makes up digital marketing, and what channels are there? Well, as you can see, there's quite a few. Remember, we're going to focus on each individually as part of this course, but here's a quick intro. So SEO, this stands for Search Engine Optimization, and this is a process of getting your website to #1 on Google. PPC are the paid ads that you see on the top of Google search results whenever you search for something. PPC stands for pay-per-click, and this is how the ads are charged for. Next, there's email marketing. There's a lot more to email marketing than sending out a newsletter once a month, and we'll cover that in a bit. It's also actually the most successful marketing channel out there, surprisingly. Display ads are the picture ads that follow you around the internet whenever you look at a new pair of shoes, for example. We all know what social media is, and we're going to be covering how to handle your online presence professionally. And then there's mobile marketing. And this covers everything to do with marketing to someone on their mobile phone, including things like apps. There are also 3 levels on which digital marketing is done. It's either done at a local, national, or international level. Now that we've covered online marketing, what channels are offline? I'm not going to go into great detail about each point because they're pretty self-explanatory, but they are print, and this is things like magazines and newspapers. Then you've got TV and radio, you've got mail, and surprisingly, mail is still really popular in Germany, where they send out brochures and other offers via snail mail. There's flyers, billboards, events, telemarketing, sponsorships, so things like sports teams, and traditional PR as well. So we're living in a world where the user has all the power. If users want to find company reviews, they can get hundreds at a click of a button. All they have to do is look on Google. If they don't like something, their complaint could go viral. I saw a quote the other day that said, if you piss someone off in the offline world, they're likely to tell 6 people about it. Annoy them online, and they have the power to tell 600. The customer has all the power to choose which service provider they go for, as they're not limited to the yellow pages anymore. This is why you need to be giving the consumer what they want and not what you think they want. So how do you do that? Moving on to some marketing theory. In digital marketing, there are 3 types of marketing. There's interruption, behavioural, and permission. Interruption is where you make them stop what they're doing, for example, by using a pop-up. We don't really recommend this technique because it really annoys people, but it's a technique and we have to mention it. Next, there's behavioural marketing, which means marketing to a group of people based on their behavior. For example, following them with a display ad for the shoes that they looked at online, or giving them blog posts when they're doing a Google search with SEO. Finally, there's permission marketing, which is where you have permission to market to them. This is either through an email campaign or because they like you on Facebook. There's also 4 stages to marketing, and these are attract, engage, close, and delight. Each stage requires different marketing techniques. Attract is the first stage, getting people who haven't heard about you to come to you. This could be through SEO, blog post, social media, ads, anything that really grabs their attention when they're looking for a solution that you provide or a product that you sell. Engage is when they know you, but they aren't ready to buy yet. During this stage, you kind of need to woo them and persuade them that you're the right choice for them. Next, if you've done the first 2 stages right, they'll be ready to buy, which is when you close the deal. It's not over there though, because once they've bought, you need to delight your customers, which is the last step. The more you delight them, the more they'll tell everyone about you, and you'll get referrals. There are 3 aspects of a digital brand. These are voice, footprint, and shadow. To put it simply, voice is what you say about yourself. Your footprint is what you leave across the internet, and you need to make sure that that backs up what you're saying about yourself so you look honest and trustworthy. Finally, there's your shadow, which is what people are saying about you. All of these 3 steps need to be aligned so that people trust you. And trust me, in today's world, people do a lot of research before they make a sale, so it's vital that everything really checks out. There are a couple of differences between B2B and B2C, and as you're probably coming from a lot of different industries, it's important that we cover them all. For B2B, we normally refer to your buyers as clients. B2B normally offers a bigger marketing budget in general, but it's harder because targeting is more geared towards B2C. Plus, you have to stay a little bit more professional in your communication style. B2C, on the other hand, gives you a lot more freedom, and this is where things like outreach marketing can come into play. But we'll cover that another day. So we've covered the basics. Why is digital marketing so great? I know I'm a bit biased, but I love the fact that digital marketing can all be tracked. That means no wasted budget, and whenever you have to persuade your boss that you want to up your budget, you have the facts and the figures to persuade them to say yes. When you put an ad out in the paper, you have no idea who's going to read it. Plus, there's sure to be a lot of wastage as you have to target everybody, not a particular segment of readers. With digital, if you're targeting women under 40 who like makeup, you can do that. Tracking is great, but you need to know what you're tracking. That's why you should always set SMART goals for all of your digital marketing efforts. S stands for specific, which means setting real numbers and real deadlines. M means you have to make sure your goal is measurable. A is for attainable. You need to have a challenge, but you need to make sure that the goal is possible. This is where it's really important to be honest with your boss. People who don't do digital marketing have a habit of coming up with impossible goals, like ranking for all your keywords within a week. This is impossible, and you have to be confident enough to tell them that, because if you just nod and agree, you're going to be letting them down when you don't reach the goals. R stands for realistic. It's a little bit like attainable. Don't push yourself. Be realistic on what you and your team can achieve. And finally, there's time-based. Always set a deadline for your goal. Remember, it's really important that you track everything. We got a paid press release to be published through a very well-renowned channel. Afterwards, we asked for the analytics on their Facebook engagements and open rates because email was part of the package, and we found out that they were really bad. Tracking this helped us to realize it wasn't a good channel, so we didn't invest in it again. They also said that nobody had ever tracked everything like that, so it's really important that you do. Let's take a look at an example of a SMART goal. So this one is, by the end of Q3, which is time-based, increase new product views, specific, by 8%, which is measurable. Through the use of SEO, it's achievable in order to increase the number of leads and products sold, and it's relevant. These are the kind of goals that you need to be coming up for your marketing efforts. There's a number of things that you need to do before you start your digital marketing. Firstly, you need to set up Google Analytics. If you have a WordPress site, it's pretty simple as you can use a plugin, but every backend is different, so you might need a little help from your webmaster to do this. You'll also need to set up Google Search Console. It's a free Google tool which gives you more insights into your website, and it's more technical than Analytics is. If you're going to set up AdWords, you should do this now. Again, it's a simple process of just signing up with Google, and then you can set up your other software. This leads us onto the tools you'll need to run your digital marketing campaigns. So let's start off with the free Google tools you'll need. There's Google Ads, which is your AdWords platform. There's Google My Business, which allows you to set up map listings for your business. There's Google Analytics, which allows you to track your campaigns, and Google Search Console, which helps you measure your site's performance. Then there's all the more specific tools that you have for your digital campaigns. If you don't have time to post on social media every day, you can use a social media tool to bulk schedule your posts. Don't worry, they don't harm your engagement rates, so they're perfectly fine to use. For about $40 a month, you can schedule multiple posts a month, plus they have analytics that give you insights about your campaign, and they're much better than the ones you'd find on Facebook and LinkedIn, for example. You can even make fancy PDF reports for your boss. There are plenty on the market, but some examples are Social Pilot and Hootsuite. Next, if you're going to be running email campaigns, you need a software, as it will save you lots of time. Tools like MailChimp also have freemium pricing plans. With email software provider, you can customize your emails, make them look pretty, segment your data so that different campaigns go to different people, and you get great analytics, which prove really useful for your sales department. So as I've mentioned, there's MailChimp, and there's also things like Woodpecker. There's plenty of them online, so take a look and choose which one fits you best. Even if you're not going to be doing SEO as in-depth as we do, you really need a keyword research tool for writing your blogs. Moz and SEMrush are the two market leaders, and they have reports that can track your website's ranking, your site health, your social listening, keyword research, and much more. Once again, there's plenty of choice, so you might decide to go for a cheaper option like SE ranking or Ahrefs. And finally, you need to make sure that you have good graphics. You don't need to be an InDesign expert to put out professional looking content, so how about using something like Canva? It's a great tool, and there's also freemium pricing plans. So let's take a look at some of the marketing terminology you're going to meet throughout this course. So let's start with KPI. This is a key performance indicator, and it's very similar to KPIs that you'll get in your sales or production department. Next, we have A/B testing, which is testing two different variants of something like an email subject and seeing which one was best. There's segmentation, which is segmenting your marketing campaigns for different people. That's, for example, say somebody likes shoes and somebody likes clothes. You're going to be sending shoe-related emails to the people who like shoes in your shop, and clothes-related emails to the people who want to buy clothes in your shop. There's bounce rate, and that's how many people leave your site. This is a really good indicator of content that's not quite working well, which you can change to make sure that people stay on your website and engage with you more. Next, there's conversion. Conversion doesn't have to just be a sale. If your KPI is to increase downloads, then a conversion is also a download. So it's basically somebody taking the action that you want them to do. There's a pixel, which is a little bit of tracking code that goes onto your website to help give you extra analytics. There's relevancy, and this is really important for campaigns and keywords because everything needs to be relevant in order to improve your results. Next, we have engagement rate, which is how many people like or share your social media posts. We'll be teaching you how to work them out in the actual social media course. There's target audience, which are the people that you're marketing to. There's organic, which means the reach and the views that you haven't paid for. So SEO is organic, likes on Facebook are organic. There's click-through rate, which is how many people click on a particular link. There's CPC, which means cost per click. So that's how much it costs you for somebody to click on a link or something. There is cost per acquisition, which is how much it costs you to actually make a sale. And then there's C2A, which is call to action, which is telling people to download the ebook now or click here for more information. So before we finish, let's take a look at what makes a good marketer. Unfortunately, there's quite a lot of marketers who let the site down, and marketing is something that you really get what you pay for. So if you outsource to somewhere far away for a few euros, you're going to get paid interactions rather than people who are interested. I actually joined a Facebook group with some of these marketers, and it's shocking the lengths that they actually go to fake results. There are some things you can do to make sure that you're a good marketer though, and these are putting the customer first. You have to put your customers' needs first. It's not cool when you forget about them and do everything you can to make a sale. A good example I came across is an ad I saw on a miscarriage forum advertising baby formula, and it was by a really big brand. It's just bad taste. And instead of people thinking, oh, when I eventually have a baby, I'll go to them, people get put off your brand for good. You should also be ethical. I've given an example above of why it's important to be ethical, but think of other people, be considerate, and you'll be fine. And also, don't prove yourself through buzzwords. Lots of marketers rely on buzzwords to make a sale when they're selling marketing services, but buzzwords don't really make you look clever. You need to prove yourself with results, and if you don't practice what you preach, your boss will find out. So hopefully I'm not being too negative and putting you off here, but there's a few things you can keep in mind when starting out with your marketing, because these are the main things that people do wrong, and it can kill a good marketing campaign. So first of all, there's bad graphics. If you're still using clip art and making graphics in Word, people are going to be put off. You need to take branding seriously and show that you're putting effort and money into it. But you don't have to worry about it being too expensive, because there's tools like Canva that can help you create really good graphics for free. Next, there's poor navigation. If people can't find what they're looking for online, they can't buy. People are really impatient, so you have to make sure you kind of spoon feed what they're looking for and make sure they have all the info so they can do what you want online. There's missing contact info. It's really frustrating when you visit a website and they don't have an email address or phone number. Just having a contact form isn't enough, because people want a personal touch, especially if it's a bigger sale, and they want to get in touch with you. We understand that getting sales spam is annoying, but not having these contacts there will put off paying customers too. Another big mistake we see is people asking for a registration too soon. Last week, we looked into a software and we couldn't get prices until we registered. That's too soon, because it puts people off. If you need and want people to make a registration, you need to make sure they've had enough time to trust you. And you have to make sure that they have enough information to make an informed decision about registering with you first. Next, let's tackle fake reviews. Don't get your employees to pose as clients and give you fake reviews. It doesn't work, especially if you can see all the reviews are done on the same day. Encourage regular reviews from satisfied customers and be honest. It's better to have less reviews, but honest ones, than more that are fake. Whatever you do, don't slag off your competitors. It makes you look grumpy and desperate. You need to win by providing a better service. And also, if somebody gives you a bad review, don't be rude to them. You need to show yourselves in a professional light, and you can actually turn these situations around by acting professionally and solving the situation. Next, don't buy lists or likes to market to. People get really annoyed, and you might even get reported for breaching GDPR, which could land you in a lot of trouble. It's the same with Facebook likes. It might look great to have 100 people liking your brand, but if they don't interact with you, then it's worthless. It's better to have less likes and more interaction. It's kind of similar with low quality content, as it's a really good way of putting people off. Having a non native speaker write your blogs or using bad grammar and spelling mistakes can damage your reputation. And also, buying SEO links is another bad practice, as it will ruin your rankings. Right, that is the end of our introduction to digital marketing. As I mentioned at the beginning, we'll be covering everything in more detail later on, so make sure you stay tuned. If you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to reach out and get in touch.